Single mother attempts to return food she can't afford. Cashier refuses and covers cost himself. Maria adjusted the worn strap of her handbag as she stood in the checkout line. Her 6-year-old daughter, Emily, clutched her hand tightly, eyes glued to the candy bars stacked temptingly by the register. Maria whispered a soft, "Not today," and gave a reassuring squeeze. Emily nodded, too mature for her age, and looked away without protest. The cart held only essentials: bread, milk, a small bag of rice, a few apples, some chicken thighs. Even so, Maria's heart thudded as the cashier scanned each item. She'd been counting every coin for the past week, stretching every dollar from her 2 part-time jobs. Rent was due. The electricity bill loomed. And here she was, praying her paycheck would clear before the debit card was swiped. $28.42, the cashier said with a practiced smile. Maria exhaled slowly. She only had $25 in her account. Her cheeks burned as she glanced down at Emily, who was humming softly to herself. I'm sorry, Maria stammered, reaching for the bag of apples. "I'll put these back." The cashier, a young man in his 20s with a name tag that read David, frowned slightly. "Ma'am, the apples," Maria whispered. Her throat tightened. "And the chicken." "I can't." Her voice cracked. She hated this part, hated the feeling of peeling back what little dignity she had left and setting it on the conveyor belt for the world to see. David's eyes softened. He glanced at Emily, then back at Maria. Without a word, he reached into his pocket, pulled out his wallet, and slid a bill across the counter. Maria blinked. No, I can't let you. It's already done," David said gently as he tapped the register. "Please, take it home." Tears stung Maria's eyes. "Why would you do that?" "Because no one should have to choose between food and pride," he said simply. Emily tugged at her mother's sleeve. "Mommy, does that mean we can keep the apples?" Maria pressed her lips together, unable to speak. She nodded quickly, brushing at her tears. They left the store, bags in hand. Maria walked slowly, feeling the weight of more than just groceries. It wasn't just about food, it was about being seen. Someone had noticed her struggle, and instead of looking away, he had reached out. That night, as she cooked the chicken and sliced the apples for Emily, Maria couldn't shake the kindness she had been shown. It was such a small act to some, but to her, it meant survival. Meanwhile, David finished his shift and headed to his tiny apartment. His coworkers had teased him before for paying out of pocket for customers who came up short, but he didn't mind. He remembered too well the days when his own mother stood in grocery store lines, embarrassed and desperate. She'd raised him alone, just like that woman today. He knew the look in her eyes, the quiet battle between humiliation and hope. He couldn't fix everything, but he could do this. And sometimes, one act of kindness was enough to remind someone that they weren't alone in the fight. The next week, Maria returned to the store. She timed her visit to when David was working. She had baked a small loaf of homemade bread, nothing fancy, just flour, yeast, and love. She handed it to him at the register, her cheeks pink with gratitude. "It's not much," she said softly, "but I wanted to thank you." David smiled, surprised but touched. "You didn't have to." "I know," Maria said. "That's why I wanted to." Emily beamed up at him. "We ate all the apples. They were really good." David chuckled. "I'm glad." The three of them stood there for a moment, an unspoken understanding weaving between them. It wasn't about charity, and it wasn't about debt. It was about humanity, the fragile, fierce thread that connected one heart to another. And sometimes, all it took was refusing to let someone return the apples.